From Gizmodo, the CIA denies conspiracy theory that it used MKUltra on the Trump shooter. This is fascinating that the CIA is even addressing this, because typically they just ignore, conspiracy theories and everything else. It says here, when it was revealed in the 1970s that the CIA had tried to develop a mind manipulation program called MKUltra, it sounded like the most absurd conspiracy theory around. Unfortunately, it turned out to be true, even if the suggestive results of the program and potential for creating a Manchurian candidate-like killers have been exaggerated in the subsequent decades. I love that. Exaggerated in the subsequent decades. Anybody that knows anything about MKUltra, almost the entire program was scrubbed. We only got like 20,000 out of millions of documents regarding MKUltra and the years-long process. Jump down here and it says the CIA, for its part, decided to push back very publicly against the claims that Crooks was MKUltra'd, something the agency doesn't often do when weird conspiracy theories are floating around on the internet. Quote, "These claims are utterly false, absurd, and damaging," a CIA spokesperson told Gizmodo on Thursday. Quote, "The CIA had no relationship whatsoever with Thomas Crooks regarding MKUltra. The CIA's program was shut down more than 40 years ago, and declassified information about the program is publicly available on CIA.gov." Because I'm sure the CIA is going to be very transparent in what they did. I mean, do they think we're stupid?
Yes, they do. They actually think we're stupid and they hate us, and they're trying to make us stupider every day for sure. But continue, please.
Yeah, I really feel like Gizmodo has a lot of influence from the CIA after this paragraph right here, where they say, and I'm just reading this because it shows you, the lunacy of an outlet like this reporting on this. It's not surprising that Trump supporters would float conspiracy theories like the idea that Crooks was part of the MKUltra program. It's really their entire brand. Trump himself has fanned the flames of ridiculous conspiracy theories over the years, often pushing dog whistles that QAnon is real. Believers in the QAnon conspiracy theory think that there's a secret cabal of Democratic politicians and Hollywood power players who are drinking the blood of children while engaging in ritual torture and rape. And the only person who can save these kids from that fate is none other than Donald Trump, the sex criminal with ties to Jeffrey Epstein that date back decades. I mean, just full-blown lunacy right there. First and foremost, I think that what QAnon has done is weaponize the people to do their own investigations and expose this on their own accord. It doesn't necessarily require President Trump to be the quote unquote savior of, the children and everything else that's going on. But I digress.
Absolutely. I mean, that's 100% the case. They said that Wired was the first to report the denial. So obviously Wired must have a relationship with the CIA. Gizmodo, obviously they're running a smokescreen here. There's another program that everyone should know about. It's called Operation Mockingbird. That was where, which we learned about from the Church Committee. I think it was 1975 when Congress, actually was trying to do their job and turn the screws in the CIA and expose the fact that they owned a ton of journalists, like owned meaning they were on their payroll. They're literally giving them money and then disseminating talking points to them of what they wanted them to say. And because before the Church Committee, the way the news was reported is, and I went back and looked at the news articles, according to the CIA, this is what's happening in Europe. According to the CIA, this is what's happening in the Middle East. And then after the Church Committee, they started saying, according to anonymous sources, according to people familiar with the matter. So yeah, we're going to turn DC inside out because we have to know every dirty little secret that's ever been kept in that place. And I don't really care about national security or any of that nonsense because I don't think our enemies are abroad. And you know who also said that was Colonel McGregor. He told Russell Brand that 2 weeks ago that our enemies are not abroad. All of our enemies are right here in our country. We don't have any real enemies abroad. There's nobody abroad who actually wants to fight us, who actually wants to go to war with us. So I'm not worried about any of that stuff. I'm worried about what secrets they're keeping from us and what harm they're trying to do to us.
Yep. Let me read this last paragraph. It says, fundamentally, the MKUltra program was focused on ways to mentally break people who were being interrogated. Test subjects were sometimes given mind-altering drugs without their knowledge, and the program included countless other abuses, including sexual assault and torture. And while that's all horrific enough, the CIA never created a Manchurian candidate that could be programmed to go kill whoever the agency wanted dead, because I'm sure they would totally admit that if it happened. Yeah, you know what? We actually, whoever actually was that shot JFK. We totally mind controlled that guy into, come on, guys. At least to the best of anyone's knowledge, based on thousands of pages of records that have been uncovered. And then I want to jump into this series right here. This is Lifting the Veil on wanttoknow.info. And let me pull this up real quick. And they talk about, they have a whole section on MKUltra right here. Chapter 5 is all about MKUltra. And I love this part right here where it says, in 1973, when Richard Helms became the director of the CIA, he ordered all of the available MKUltra files to be destroyed. But thanks to a clerical error, about 20,000 files survived the destruction order. Now, what do you think the odds are that those are the 20,000 files that they're like, okay, these aren't going to hurt us that bad. They figured out what we're doing. These aren't going to hurt us that bad. We'll give the people these just so that we can say, well, here's the transparency.
Yeah, this is what we call a limited hangout. And that's where they give you just enough information to satisfy curiosity and to kind of like provide a plausible explanation and so people will stop there and stop going deeper. And then if deeper theories come out, deeper, people extract more from it, the general public just says, yeah, now you're taking it too far. You're going way too far. Like, we already got the truth. We don't need to go further. And this is exactly why they do limited hangouts, is so that you don't go further and you don't get the full truth.
Yep. And as Chase Geiser said, the CIA has officially denied claims that the Trump shooter was an MKUltra plant. Now it seems even more likely that he was.
Yeah, it's the Bart Simpson meme. It's like, what a strange thing to say.